Before we get into our episode on Corn Network, we want to talk about last episode where we talked a little bit about green beans and it's sponsored by the Green Giant. This episode today is going to be about corn.
We are sponsored by Corn Capital.
Coming to you live from the corn capital of the world, Olivia, Minnesota. I'm Josh Myers, your host, and this is my assistant, Alex Pedic. Today we're going to talk to you about the life of corn, how it grows, different health foods, and facts about it. We have with us today, luckily, one of the professional farmers in our community, Daniel Roker. Daniel, tell us a little bit about corn. Like, what happens about it? How do you do it?
Well, you have to have the proper planting time, make sure that it will grow correctly, you got to put proper fertilizers, and that's pretty much all there is to planting corn.
Sounds like a fun time.
You heard it here first. Fun time. Easy to do, not a whole lot of work. Thanks, Daniel, for your time. Today on Corn Network, we'll talk a little bit about different communities and different fun facts about it. We recently heard about one of the businesses, Finish Line Seed recently bought a drone for their fields, and so they no longer need employees to be walking the fields, looking to check for weeds in the corn. They now have a drone that flies the fields for them. So that's been a huge help for their employees. It just saves a lot of time and it saves a lot of money. Facts. Before we really get into the facts about corn, I want to give you a little history on the vegetable. Corn goes way back to the Mayan days, back 1500 BC.
That's a long time ago.
Long time ago. It's been with us ever since. 40% of all the corn ever produced in the world comes from the United States.
From the Corn Belt in Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Nebraska.
Other major cities that produce corn are China, Brazil, Mexico, Russia, Ukraine, Romania, and South Africa. How does corn benefit you? Well, eating it, of course. So here's some different ways to prepare corn for eating. Corn can be cooked either with or without husks in the variety of different ways. If using the wet heat method of boiling or steaming, make sure not to add salt, overcook it, or the corn will tend to become hard or lose its flavor. Or they can be broiled in the husks. If broiled, first soak the corn in husks beforehand.
Some animals that like to eat corn: cows, pigs, sheep, chickens.
All your basic farm animals really enjoy eating corn. So it's kind of a major vegetable to have around the farm. It's not, I don't know, how's the money-wise? How's it been doing this year?
Well, last year was way up. Now it took a crapper.
Took a cracker. You hear that? It went down. It went down a lot, I've heard. So it's not exactly the greatest thing to be producing right now, to be selling. Hopefully it'll be going up next year, but what's kind of in season right now? What do you think?
Right now, well, it's the middle of winter here in Olivia.
Well,
So,
winter.
really nothing.
Really nothing. Nothing right now. Everyone's got their crops out, but hopefully starting next year we'll have a good summer, good spring, and we'll try and see what we can get out of the deal. What else we got here? Recently, on Corn Network, beneficial about corn, we talked about the health of it, we talked about ways to prepare it. What do we got here? Anyone who's eaten fresh corn on the cob is freshly popped corn knows how satisfying the food can be. So, stay tuned. I'll talk to you later.